Call this meeting of the Show City Council to order. Roll call of council members is all are present. At this time, I've asked Councilman Clark to lead us in invocation and Councilman Wilson to lead us in pledges. If you'd like to stand and join us, please.
Our Father in heaven, we're gathered tonight as a governing body of the City of Show City Council. We thank thee for the opportunity we have to gather in these wonderful facilities and in such peaceable environment. We're thankful for the opportunity we have to discuss the needs of the City of Show and its citizens. We are thankful for the staff and the members of our community who work diligently to make this such a great community and a great place to live and to work and to play and to have a place that we can call home. We ask that tonight as we discuss the needs of the city that our minds will be enlightened and that we'll have a greater understanding than our own to be able to do what is right for the people of this great community. We pray that we'll be able to talk in ways that are be cordial and collaborative with one another, and that we'll be able to put the needs of the citizens first and foremost. We ask that thy spirit will be with our first responders and with our military. Please protect and watch over them and keep them safe as they go about keeping and protecting our great nation and the streets and the cities that we love. We ask that thou will please soften the hearts of the nation, that we will be able to be led and guided by thee. And with these things we ask for in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen. Please join me in the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you both very much. Appreciate that. Welcome, everybody. Appreciate you coming. All those joining us on channel 56 or any other electronic device, we appreciate that. Next item on the agenda is call to the public. Any citizen desiring to speak on a matter that is within the jurisdiction of the city council may do so at this time. And nobody move, we'll move right along to special events. Presentation regarding wildfire mitigation by APS. Mr. Traver.
All right, well, Mayor, Vice Mayor, thank you for letting me be here today and discuss with the city and the council some protocols that APS has put into place over the past several years to try and ensure that we have safe, reliable energy for all of our customers. And as you're aware of, probably over the past few years, it seems like just the fires just keep getting worse and worse and worse. And I think last year in the state of Arizona, we had approximately 1 million acres of forest that was burned up, and it was kind of a devastating and challenging year. And so for those of you who don't know me, my name is Neil Traver. I'm the division manager for APS in northeastern Arizona. And in my region specifically last year, we had a significant amount of wildfire. Some of it human caused, some of it lightning caused, and it's always devastating to see what happens to the national forest. For example, the bushfire. You guys probably all drive down to the valley and you see what happened to Mount Ord and all the devastation that happened there and what happened to the community of Tonto Basin. You've probably seen over the past several years what's happened in the city of Paradise, for example, in California. Recently, what's happened in the Northwest, up in Oregon. And APS has taken a very strong stance against any potential forced fire starts. And as a result of that, what we've done over the past several years is come together and created a comprehensive fire mitigation plan. And that fire mitigation plan has several different parts to it. One of those parts is that we want to do vegetation management. So in the rights of way where our power lines are, spend a lot of time out in the field, trimming trees back, doing chemical and manual removal of the plants that get close enough and the trees that get close enough. We also do what's called a defensible space around our poles, where each of the power poles that have equipment on them, they go out and they do a circumference around the base of that pole, so that just in case anything was to happen on any of the equipment, and there was any sparks, it would come and hit bare dirt and not catch any fire, grass, and get a runaway. We also have a line inspection protocol. Each year, all year throughout the year, we have our employees out in the field inspecting lines and making sure that our equipment's in good repair and good working order. But in this early parts of the year, January through early March timeframe, we actually do a full-fledged effort where we send a lot of extra employees out into the field, and we patrol over 4,000 miles of line and inspect every single pole and make sure that we're not going to have any potential for fire once the heat and the fire season starts. And then one of the most critical things we do is we have equipment out in the field. We call these pieces of equipment reclosers. And these pieces of equipment, what they do is they can sense faults on the power lines. So if a tree branch or something was to come through and hit a power line, it can sense, hey, there's something on the line. It'll actually de-energize the line momentarily, give it a chance for that tree branch to fall through or whatever may have hit it, and then it'll re-energize the line. And it happens very rapidly. Generally, don't even realize there's been an outage. We call these momentary. Well, these pieces of equipment will actually sense that fault, turn the power off, turn the power back on, and then if it's still there, it'll turn it back off, turn it back on, and tries it 3 times. Well, during fire season, we don't want any potential to have a tree branch that's sitting on a line and we re-energize it and it potentially causes a spark. So during this particular fire season time, we actually turn all these devices off. That doesn't impact anything related to the delivery of energy other than what could have been a momentary outage could now turn into a prolonged outage for our customers. And it's just a safety protocol. We don't want the city of Show Low to ever be the next big news where the city of Show Low just burned up. We just lost so many hundreds of homes. It's an absolutely beautiful community. You're in a beautiful region surrounded by pine trees and in a very important part of our forest. And so we just don't want any part of that. So this protocol that we do when we turn these devices off, what that means is we're going to have to actually put somebody out in the field and inspect all those lines where we think the fault was or where we believe the fault's going to be or has been until we can actually put boots on the ground and confirm no issues in the field. We're not going to re-energize that power. So we've been doing this for the past several years. I think, it's not been very impactful. And I think the conversations we've had with the communities have been very receptive and actually very open to this. They're generally, the conversation is, we'll take a 1 or 2 hour outage as opposed to not having homes in the forest to live in. And it's, again, we've been very proactive and very deliberate in what we've done. And I think the outages are minimal and the impact has been very, very minimal to our customers. But I just want to make sure that the city of Show Low knows about this, because this is one of the regions that we are in fact implementing these protocols. We haven't put it on yet for this year, but my guess is sometime in the next month we'll implement that protocol, and it'll probably last until around the October timeframe. We don't make these decisions on our own. We work with our fire departments, the National Forest Service. We work with a lot of different folks on, okay, we're at the right time. Let's go ahead and implement these protocols. And then the last thing is for any of the customers that are on those lines that are going to be set to non-reclose, is what we call that status. We actually will send out a little postcard. We're going to send out an email and likely have texts going to all those individuals that are on those, so that there's some notification saying, hey, we're starting this protocol. You may end up with a little longer duration outage than normal, but it's for the good of the forest, it's for safety, it's to make sure that we take care of our first responders. So that's another piece of it, is if we have a fire somewhere out and we have first responders on it, we'll proactively de-energize our lines so that those first responders can safely work under our power lines without having any issue. And I'll leave it at that right now and stop and ask if you have any questions for me.
Do you have any questions or comments? Councilwoman Wilson.
So have you been doing this in other areas, and has it been real effective?
Yeah, we've been doing this throughout the entire state, our entire service territory, it's been several years now. I'd go back probably 5 years we've been doing this and implementing this, and every year we get a little better at it and we tweak it a little more, and it's been less impactful to our customers and actually better for our system. And so it's been very, very effective. And to date, we haven't had any, heaven bless and knock on wood, we haven't had any significant issues that APS has been connected. So
Thank you.
Go ahead.
Oh, thank you. I just want to thank you for the information and everything else. And I just want to thank APS for being a great partner up here with the city of Show Low and with the people up here. So we thank you very much for have the consideration and the foresight to see to help protect us and the people of Show Low. So thank you very much.
yeah, you're welcome.
So some of these wooden poles that burn or whatever, do you replace them with metal or you just go back? Is that,
Yeah.
because I see them out laying on the grounds everywhere, a lot down at Tono Basin area. It seems like they get burned up and you replace them with metal. Is that kind of the theory?
Yeah, yes, we do. And so for Tonto Basin specifically, we had the big bushfire went through, and 3 years if 3 weeks of my life, it felt like 3 years. It was 3 weeks of my life I'm never going to get back. And yeah, we had to proactively turn power off down there. It was a very challenging time, and we ended up losing 21 poles in that fire and had to go back and put them back in, and we did replace all those with steel poles. At times we will go back with a wooden pole if it's in a location that we can't get vehicles to, and our crews have to actually physically climb the pole to work on them. So we'll put a wood pole in those locations, but for the most part, we go back with steel.
Any other comments?
No, thank you, Neil. Appreciate that very much.
Thank you. I've been able to work with Neil on the shoulder chamber. Some people, you don't see all that APS does behind the scenes, which they like to echo what Councilman also said, is that they are a great partner for the community. They do a lot. And I've seen Neil work, he's got his full-time job and all these community commitments. He's got a family, and you see him working with the Shoulder Chamber, and he's got an expertise in finance, and he's been able to help out with as a treasurer for that group. And so I really appreciate not only, the APS is putting these resources out, but you personally, I really appreciate that. And, moving into the community and coming in and wanting to better it. And so we appreciate that effort. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you. I absolutely love it.
Appreciate it very much. All right. Thank you, sir.
Thanks, Neil.
Appreciate it.
Neil.
All right. Next item on the agenda is consent calendar. Is there anything that needs to be removed or discussed on the consent calendar? Consideration of renewal of a contract for professional audit service. Consideration of non-commercial ground lease with John Osborne and D.W. Lusk. Consideration of approval of Federal Aviation Administration Airports Improvement Program. Consideration of resolution number R 2021-04, authorizing intermental agreement with Navajo County Community College District. And consideration of the minutes of the city council. I'll entertain a motion.
I move so.
Got a motion and a second?
Second.
A second. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Same sign. Motion pass. Next item on the agenda is new business consideration of appointment of Parks and Recreation Advisory Committee members. Mrs. Hall.
Thank you, Mayor. The terms of 3 Parks and Recreation Advisory Committee members, Stephen Hare, Don Hall, and Eric Puddle, expired at the end of March. Staff contacted the incumbents to gauge their interest in reapplying, and all applied to be reappointed. Per policy, city staff advertised the 3 vacancies. Staff received 2 additional applications from interested individuals, Becky Clark and Viola Kinney. 4 applicants were interviewed by the City Council on March 23rd, and one applicant being unavailable for an interview. You've all been given ballots. If you'll please mark your choices for the 3 individuals you wish to appoint. After the votes have been tallied, the results, and the 3 individuals with the most votes, a formal motion may be made based on the results. The votes will be reflected in the minutes.
Mayor, I'm going to declare conflict on this. My sister-in-law is a member of the applicant pool. So out of an abundance of caution, I'm going to declare conflict.
Thank you. Appreciate that. All right. You guys got all your, pass them down this way. You can touch them. Ed, do you want to tell a joke or anything, or? I'm not right. No, I can't do the jokes I know on TV. I don't know any other ones. For anybody wanting to get involved in the city, these are some of the committees that you can get involved with. We have a lot of subcommittees. It's really awesome that you get so many people turn out for some of these programs that we have, and it's the best way to get involved in the city is something like this. So. You didn't come up with a tie, did you?
Okay, we have one declared winner, Becky Clark, with 5 votes. And then we have a 3-way tie with Stephen Hare, Don Hall, and Eric Podol. So I'll send out ballots again if you guys will re-vote between Stephen Hare, Don Hall, and Eric, please.
Alrighty.
Sorry, if you'll mark 2.
Mark 3 last time. Thank you. Yep.
Prayer too.
I know some of those like that.
Brent, Mark 4. No, we won't have a
Drawing
tie.
pictures on it.
No ties this time.
We need a warrant.
75 degrees next week.
Yeah. That's gonna be crazy. So the wind dies down.
I still think, I know my wife, I got her some above ground gardens. They hang off the side.
Yeah.
She wanted to plant. I go, oh, let's wait till after Mother's Day. For some reason.
Yeah.
Always get that one last little freeze.
Frost. Yeah. Yeah.
Last presidential
Or-
election.
I totally agree with that one.
What does she plant?
She does like cherry tomatoes, jalapenos.
Oh, cool.
But the garden we got is above ground, but it's got slots in it where you hang on the side. It's got a little holder for it.
Oh, really?
But you said
It's
too,
called the ultimate
right
garden.
down the same list.
Mhm.
And his family patented it. You know, and he lives down the street from me.
Oh, cool.
So I love above ground garden.
Yeah.
But I don't do it anyway. It's the wife's.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have Don Hall next with the most votes with 5 votes, and then Stephen Hare is next with 4 votes. So we have Stephen Hare, Don Hall, and Becky Clark.
Cool. Thank you. Appreciate that. We don't need any kind of, we do. Entertain a motion to, who did you say? You said Don Hall, I know.
So Becky Clark, Stephen Hare, and Don Hall.
Okay, I'll entertain a motion to appoint those 3. Vice Mayor.
So moved.
Got a motion, I need a second. Got a second down here. All those in favor? All those opposed, same sign? Okay, motion passed.
Can I make a,
Yes.
I just want to thank Eric Polda and for putting in, and he's been on this committee for 4 years, and it appears, you know, he had great attendance record and everything else, and so it's nothing that be ashamed of. I think Eric pulled it would have been a great person too, but congratulations to the three that we picked.
Yeah, you have 5 great candidates on that, so that's why there were so many ties, obviously. All righty, next item on the agenda is consideration of applications submitted by James Edward Gerard on behalf of the White Mountain-based submarine veterans for special event liquor license for the 2021 Cruise the Rim Car Show on June 5th at Frontier Field. Mrs. Hall. Yay, we're opening back up again.
Thank you.
Events.
Okay, James Edward Gerard, representing the White Mountain-based submarine veterans, submitted an application for a special event liquor license for the 2021 Cruise in the Rim Car Show at Frontier Field, scheduled for June 5th. The license will allow the submarine veterans to sell alcohol during the event. There is an existing 6-foot chain link fence surrounding Frontier Fields where the alcohol will be sold and consumed. 2 entrance/exit gates will be open for participants to enter and leave the area, which will be manned by White Mountain submarine veterans personnel to ensure that no alcohol is brought in or leaves the premises. Additional submarine veterans will patrol and monitor the entire area to ensure there is no underage consumption. The Show Low Police Department performed a background check on the applicant and found nothing that would preclude approval of this special event liquor license. The application and action taken by council will be forwarded to the Department of Liquor Licenses and Control. Unlike regular liquor licenses, the council's decision is final for such an application.
Any questions or comments? I'll entertain a motion.
Make it.
Councilman Wilson.
I move to approve the application submitted by James Edward Gerard for a special event liquor license for the 2021 Cruise in the Rim Car Show on June 5th at Frontier Field, Show Low, Arizona.
I'll second it.
Got a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Passed 6-1. Thank you. Appreciate that. Just nice to see we're having events again. I'm thrilled.
In their application, they put that they're going to have 1 attendee on that day. I hope more than 1 person attends that car show. They may want to amend that before they send it into the Department of Liquor.
Maybe it's just 1 car.
Yeah.
Probably not.
It's just my driveway. If you guys want to come to my car show, I'm having one every day.
Right. Rotate them in and out.
Yeah.
All righty, next item on the agenda is consideration of abandonment of portion of the Tonka Resort Casitas. Mr. TREGASKES.
Thank you, Mayor, and members of council. On February 21st of 2006, the City Council approved the final plat for Tonka Resort Casitas at Bison Ridge, which was subsequently recorded in Navajo County. This development allowed for the construction of 9, not 8, but 9 buildings, each housing 8 condominiums for a total of 72 condominium units. Since that time, 2 buildings housing a total of 16 condominium units have been constructed. The remaining 7 buildings proposed to house 56 condominium units were never constructed. At the request of the owner of the unbuilt condominium units, the council voted to revert to acreage the unbuilt units at its regular meeting of November 17, 2015. This revision was rescinded by the council at its regular meeting of May 16, 2017, due to ownership issues between the owner of the condominium parcels and the homeowners association relative to the abandonment and Tract B of the development. Both parties agreed that the best resolution would be to revert the abandonment back to the original plat. The homeowners association has since acquired all affected parcels, including the unbuilt condominium spaces and Tract B, and has requested that the unbuilt condominium spaces be abandoned in an effort to reduce property taxes on the properties. As indicated on the attached condominium plat abandonment, quote, all easements shown on Tonka Resort subject property shall remain and are unaffected by this reversion. Any future development of this property would be required to comply with the underlying zoning and resubmittal and approval of preliminary development plan and final plats would be required. No public roadways or utilities are affected by this request. Both staff as well as representatives of the homeowners association are available for questions.
Anybody got any questions or comments? Councilman Olson.
Justin, just a question for you. If this thing reverts back to nothing, I'm just kind of going over your last little statement there. Everything's got to be refiled and come all the way back to planning and zoning and also the city of Show Low for the council.
Correct. So the portion that is outlined there in red on the subject property map, that is the area that we're discussing. I'm actually going to bring up the aerial so you can see it in relation to everything else there. If in the future they choose to move forward and come back to develop that property, they would be required to comply with the underlying PUD zoning, including density and maximum unit count numbers. They would need to file a preliminary development plan with the city, which would go to the Planning and Zoning Commission as well as to the City Council. They would be required to submit improvement plans, which would be reviewed by city staff and approved prior to a final plat being brought to the City Council for approval, and then they could record the plat.
Okay, my next question then, I guess the homeowner associations are probably for this then.
They are the ones that have requested it, yes.
Okay, thank you.
Vice Mayor.
What are the approved uses of that property if the development doesn't go forward?
Under the PUD zoning, it's residential. They could do condominiums. They could actually come back in and say, we'd like to do single-family residential on that location. But those are essentially their options. It has to be residential related. They could not come in with a commercial request on that property.
What about a park?
They can certainly leave it as open space and utilize it as a park or open space for the members of the HOA.
Thank you.
Vice Mayor. Any other questions or comments? I'll entertain a motion. Somewhere.
I'll move to abandon a portion of the condominium plat for Tatanka Resort Casitas at Bison Ridge and revert to acreage parcel A as shown on the amended to final plat Tatanka Resort Casitas at Bison Ridge, more particularly described as AP number 309-84-109 through 136 and AP numbers 309-84-209 through 236, and authorize the mayor to sign the associated documents.
I'll second that.
Got a motion and a second. All those in favor? All those opposed, same sign. Motion passed. Thank you. Next item on the agenda is consideration of acceptance of meadow fence. Needs to be said something different. The meadow view fence, the meadow fence. City of Charlotte project number FM-0121. Mr. Cup.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. At the October 6, 2020 meeting, the City Council awarded the construction contract to Navapache Equipment for the amount of $38,483 to install a decorative fence at the Sholo Meadow. The 4,000-foot long fence was constructed with used well pipe rails and rock basket posts. City staff procured the materials for the fence, and a public bid was advertised for the installation. During construction, Arizona Public Service informed staff that gates would be required for access to two large switching cabinets located adjacent to the fence. The cost for the gates was $3,000. The installation is now complete. The contractor has submitted a single request for payment for the entire contract amount of $41,483, which includes the $3,000 change order. The total cost for the fence was approximately $40,000 lower than the budgeted amount. Staff recommends accepting the construction of the meadow fence project, releasing the single final payment, and approving the change order for a total amount of $41,483. Be happy to answer questions.
So why are you slipping down so low in your chair back there? What's going on? You turned red, started slow. Any questions or comments?
I got one. Is anybody here from Navapache Equipment at all?
No.
I mean, ever since this thing was started, we've had nothing but positive people saying how decorative it is and how it made that meadow look a lot better. I just wish somebody was here to where we could at least say thank you to them for all the work. I just hope that we look at maybe finishing the south end over there by Hampton, or the Hampton, and bring it down to the creek down there. But I mean, it started out bad weather, everything else, things up and down, and they cleaned it up and made that thing really look nice. And you know, I know we're not too much in for change orders, but I understand the change orders on this one, so I don't have a problem doing anything on it. But I just wish somebody was here because I would love to tell them, thank you for a job well done.
I would be happy to pass the word along
Okay,
to
thank you.
Lynn and his guys.
And I'm sure, believe it or not, Lynn watches us closely. So I'm sure you just did.
Okay.
Because he does watch our shows.
So if there's not anything else, Mayor, I'll make a motion, but
Just one more quick comment, I guess, I'm looking forward to the next holiday where we're going to put flags on every third pole with a light. So it's going to be cool. And we'll leave them up there for 3 or 4 days for the holiday weekend. So I'm so excited for that part. And I think we have everything, right?
We do.
We should have everything.
We're ready to go.
Go ahead, Councilman Alsop.
so, just another thing. I mean, this is probably one of the best projects that we've done in a long time that just beautifies Show Low and that meadow. People for years has been wanting us to purchase that meadow and do something and then keep it the way it is. And I think we just did a great job of that. And I thank staff and everybody else that worked on that. So I move to accept the construction of the meadow fence project, releasing the single final payment approved a $3,000 change order and the amount totaling $41,483.00.
I'd like to second it, or
I got a second.
Connie
Go
said.
ahead. You
Just
make
thank
comment.
Bill and his staff. I know that there's been some changes that I know that the design with the flags came after the design had already been in works and stuff like that. So I know him and his team have done a lot of work on this. So thank you for that. And I echo Councilman Alsop's sentiments to Navapache. That's great. So, but I want to thank you, Bill, and your team. You guys did a great job with that. So
We're always open to good suggestions and ideas, and there's more to come. We're going to finish that up. So
And I believe you had some design phase in that, as well as Mayor Seymour had some input on that. So there was a lot more than just them. So
yeah.
Yeah, it's a wonderful project and good collaboration by all the parties involved.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor? All those opposed, same sign. Motion passed. Thank you. Thank you, Bill. Appreciate it. Looks awesome out there. Next item on the agenda, consideration of agreement to purchase irrigation shares from the Menhennet family. Mr. Brown, I hope I said that right.
Yes, you got it. Good evening, Mayor and Council. Recently, staff was approached by Mark Menhennet. He's the general partner and trustee for the Menhennet family about purchasing 73.5 water shares in the Show Low Pine Top Woodland Irrigation Company that his family owns. The Menhennet family owns the land around Walmart and Lowe's and has no need for the shares. Mark Menhennet agreed on a price of $65,000 for the 73.5 shares. That comes out to about $884.35 per share. The city can start using the shares after May 1st, 2021, and will pay the Menhennet family by July 10th, 2021. And the city has also agreed to pay any current assessment that is due from the irrigation company. So when we check with the irrigation company, they haven't sent out assessments for the year, but it should be coming out in the next month or two. And it'd be approximately $2,500 or something like that for the assessment. So staff recommends purchasing the water shares. Happy to answer any questions.
Any comments? Councilman Alsop.
Morgan, can you just let people know why it's important for us to buy these type of shares or to keep these type of shares in the city?
Sure. So I think there's two reasons why. We've been told by Ethan Ellsworth, who's the manager of the irrigation company, that we have currently 79 water shares. And when we try to water the meadow over there, it doesn't even quite cover that whole meadow. So with these additional shares, we'll be able to irrigate the whole meadow. And we can also use these shares probably on Pierce Park over there when we do Pierce Park. So it would water current amount of the fields that we have. And then the second part is obviously just keeping the shares for the city of Show Low is that future water uses. We may, who knows what's going to come down the pike, but sometime we might have to do a water treatment plant and use some of the water for that. So,
Thank you.
Any other comments or questions? Vice Mayor.
I'd like to thank the Menhennet family for giving us this opportunity. You know, it is a very important purchase for the city and will be very favorable for us in the future. If there's no other comments, I'll make a motion.
Go ahead.
I move to approve the agreement to purchase 73.5 irrigation shares in the Show Low Pine Top Woodland Irrigation Company for $65,000 from the Menhennet family.
I'll second. Got a motion and a second. All those in favor? All those opposed, same sign. Thank you, Morgan. Appreciate it. Next item on the agenda is summary of current events. Any council members want to? Councilman Adams.
I just like to thank everybody. We had the dedication of the Adams family log house, and I wanted to thank City Council for doing that. I wanted to thank staff, Ed and Morgan and Nicole. I know she worked heavily on it, and Rick and his team. And the family's just real happy, and I wanted to make sure you guys knew how grateful we are that this has been saved, and we can share a little bit of our heritage with the city, and we're just very grateful and really appreciative of all the hard work it took to get to this point.
I just want to add to that as we go. It was a great turnout. I mean, I think that's the first time we had a family reunion for them that we kind of brought everybody together. There were some people in that family I haven't seen in 20 years, or if not longer. So it was a great turnout by all of it. Appreciate all your hard work on that too, John. You don't give yourself enough pat on the back, but you kind of got that whole family together. So appreciate that very, very much. Vice Mayor.
I agree, Mayor. The family was very complimentary of John, and we appreciate your hard work and the partnership between the Adams family and the city of Show Low. I also want to thank the mayor. I saw on social media that you got up early and attended the opening ceremonies for Little League, and that was a wonderful event for our community, and it was wonderful to see all of our children out being active again and getting together. And then to be able to go to the Adams family ribbon cutting was a wonderful event, and then carried on the day with Little League games and all kinds of different activities. So Show Low's back open, and it's wonderful to see these events where we can enjoy our outdoors and all the many amenities that we provide to the visitors in our community.
Thank you. I can tell you, when me and my wife drove up to Little League fields Saturday, it almost brought tears to my eyes. The place was packed because if you all know, we joined up with Pinetop Lakeside Little League, so we brought them. And they're having games there. They're practicing up there too, but it was nice that they can work together and for the kids. It didn't matter if you're from Pinetop Lakeside or Show Low. It was for the kids, but seeing all those kids out there, I mean, there was no place to park, and Baxter showed up. I did throw out the first pitch a little short.
I saw that.
I know. I didn't even know I was throwing out the first pitch. Their Little League president walked up to me and goes, "Here," and I go, "What?" He goes, "Throw this to Baxter." I go, "Can we warm up? It's been 40 years since I threw a ball." Nope, just a little short, but I got it there. I didn't roll it. I didn't do underhand. So
Did he use the pitching machine?
Any other council members? Councilman Alsop.
Yeah, I just went, attended some Meals on Wheels board meetings and some Zoom conferences and everything else. And anybody who's interested who would like to help with the Meals on Wheels or senior center, please give them a contact. And they're always looking for drivers. As a matter of fact, we extended a couple things, and so we're looking for probably some drivers to help with. So please give them a call and sign up, and they'll be more than happy to put you to work. Second thing is, Mr. Adams, Adams family has been really dear to my heart, and I wish I could have made that day. I just have to have 3 or 4 things at the same time. The one thing I did go to that day was Jack Carlisle's funeral. Jack Carlisle was a rancher here in Burton and all over the state of Arizona. He's been ranching his whole life. It was neat to see how he started. His wife Phyllis was a school teacher here in Show Low and taught a lot of our kids and some of my grandkids. And so I just felt I had to go to that, and it was great to see all the Carlisle's family, and Wade did a great job to explain what his dad did up here and what he did for the town of Burton and for the Burton Baptist Church. So Jack will be a guy that's going to be really missed. And so I just want to give my condolences to the Carlisle's family. And I just want to say to the Adams, I wish I was there, but just had some other things going on. So apologize. That's it.
Councilwoman Wilson.
I was just going to ask, maybe Councilman Alsop knows, or if people want to sign up for that Show Low Main Street Farmers Market. I heard that they were looking for vendors, but I'm not sure how that they would go about
I
to
think
do that.
Councilman Hatch has got that.
Okay.
There will be a flyer distributed in the community. And off the top of my head, I believe it's May the 10th. And it'll open up with the same amenities that it had last year, a little different interval in the spacing so that we can meet the requirements. But Mike, did you have anything that you?
No, it's just, the farmer's market last year was really turned down mostly because of COVID-19. There's been all kinds of stuff. And that market has been going on for over 10 years. And I think it's good to get it back in and get Sholo back. Just like Vice Mayor said, Sholo's open. We're trying to get people things going again. Car show, barbecue. We want to get back to normal. I think not only just the council, but everybody wants to get back to normal. So the Main Street Farmers Market will be right downtown here, and that's usually about May through September. So.
Okay.
I can definitely tell you we're open. I left for the Little League. I think we got there at 8, and I think by the time I was done I did like 4 or 5 different events. I would love to have been at Jack's thing, but there was a funeral, but I couldn't make it. But I think we got home about 9. So it was a long day, but we kind of knew that ahead of time. I got one thing that I'm pretty excited about. The barbecue event happening next weekend. It kicks off Friday. I believe we're going to have a DJ or something Friday night. We have an SCA contest, which is a State Cook-Off Association contest Friday night. That usually starts around 7. The gates should open up around 5, I believe we talked about. Also that night, with the state contest, we're doing ancillary contest, and this year we're doing tacos. So it'll be kind of fun to see that program kick off. And then Saturday is our 4-meat contest, like we've done. This is our 8th annual. Also with that, we have music all day, free events. We got some bands playing. We got kids games. I'm not sure which kids games we decided on yet because of COVID. We didn't know what we can have, but we're gonna have something there. We got a few vendors coming out, but kind of one of the exciting parts too with that is we're going to do a kids queue this year, and me and my wife decided to sponsor that. And what that is we have I think we have 10 or 11 kids signed up, and it's free to the kids. And we have some awards that people in the community have donated, and the kids get 2 pork chops, and the parents light the fire, and the parents walk away, and they have a turn in at a certain time. Just like we have judges that are sticking around for it, so it's pretty cool. It's pretty exciting. It's our first year, so we have times that we're supposed to do these, but as I was leaving the house, my wife says, hey, we can't do it at this time if we're doing this at this time. So things are changing already, but pretty excited for the event. Real excited about the contest. It's nice to get back out again, and you guys know barbecue is really close to my heart. Obviously, look at me. I probably cook too much as it is, but pretty excited about opening up our world again for sure. And to us, barbecue is one of the major things. So. It's at Frontier Field, right behind the old Frontier Bank. So that's going to be one of our biggest venues that we're kind of moving everything to that now. We probably won't do a whole lot of the senior field anymore. We've kind of moved everything to there. So, and it's pretty, I think we have 29 barbecue teams, and most of them camp there. So there'll be campers out there. And today I just found out we have 25 state cooking teams. So it'll be pretty exciting. And if you're there for the state contest, they don't touch anything. So after they open the steak and look at it, and they cut off a piece of it and they give it to the judges, and the rest of it's whoever wants to eat a piece of steak. It's all clean, COVID safe. It's pretty exciting. City manager, you're smiling. He likes the barbecue contest too.
Thank you, Mayor. So our annual Martin Luther King Day of Service is this Saturday. That's where volunteers come and work on community projects. This year, due to COVID-19, we'll be breaking up into small groups and work on many projects around the community, depending on how many people show up. We'll meet at 9 o'clock at the City Hall, and we encourage everybody to come out and all the public to show up. You can sign up for it at justserve.org, or if you have questions on it, you can call 532-4014. We have a couple of cleanup programs coming up the next couple of months. The first one is on the next free excess trash collection service is scheduled for the week of May 3rd through the May 6th. The service is available to all City of Shoalo refuge customers. It is provided by Waste Management on the regular scheduled collection day during the first full week of all the odd numbered months of the year. So the next one is May 3rd through May 6th. Items must be bagged, boxed, or bundled and weigh less than 50 pounds and be placed next to your poly cart by 6 a.m. the morning of your regular trash collection day. Large items aren't allowed in the excess trash, just the smaller items less than 50 pounds. And then in June, or actually mid-May, we start our Project Clean Sweep program. It's our 23rd annual Project Clean Sweep. It kicks off mid-May. Residents with proof of residency can dump green waste for free at 2 weeks, for 2 weeks at the Dirty Deeds Green Waste at 890 Cinder Pit Road from Monday, May 10th to Saturday, May 15th. And again from Monday, May 17th to Saturday, May 22nd from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. And that's the green waste out at Dirty Deeds Green Waste area. Other services are provided in Project Clean Sweep, and they'll start in June, but we'll send out a flyer in the next utility bill explaining all the the Project Clean Sweep projects. And in Public Works projects, next week, we have a contractor will begin construction on the 11th Avenue water line replacement from Owens near the Aquatic Center. And it'll go north to West McNeil. And that one should be completed in 60 days. And then a big project, or a couple of big projects, Arizona Department of Transportation awarded the Doosa Clubs and White Mountain Road Mill and Overlay projects to Sunland Asphalt last Friday, and we'll set up a pre-construction meeting soon to review the project schedule and start date. And once we get that start date and schedule, we'll send it out to the council. ADOT will be holding some public meetings for the project this Wednesday and Thursday, tomorrow and Thursday, April 21st and 22nd. They will be held online and by calling in. The meeting on Wednesday will be held from 6 to 7 p.m. and on Thursday it'll be held from 12 noon to 1 p.m. If anyone's interested in joining those meetings, the information can be found at azdot.gov/SHOLO. And that'll be a lengthy project. It might even go 2 seasons. There's so much work involved with concrete and driveways and mill and overlay. So, and then there's also part of that project will be the Shola Lake, Cub Lake Road intersection improvements. So that'll be a major project. So we thank our citizens for their patience. We're going to be doing a lot of projects this summer. Thank you.
Thanks, City Manager. Appreciate that. It's going to tie up some traffic, but you know, anybody that drives that road knows that we need it done. So have a lot of patience. It's better than continuing to let it deteriorate for sure. Does anybody else have any other seconds or anything? Scheduling of meetings. You guys don't want to have another budget meeting? No, we're good. All righty, next item on the agenda, executive session. We're discussing consultant of legal advice with city attorney. I'll look for a motion to go into executive session.
So moved.
Got a motion? Got a second? All those in favor? All those opposed, same sign? All righty, we'll go into executive session. Thank you all for attending. Appreciate it.